This time on Rheem Water Heater Domination, we're going to be talking about the Rheem Tankless High Efficiency Water Heater. Today we're going to cover basic overview of installation as well as some problem codes that will pop up as a result of the installation. Stand by, here we go. Now this particular water heater, as I mentioned, is a Rheem Tankless High Efficiency Water Heater. That means it's going to have a condensing vent system. It's going to have a PVC venting system that can terminate in 2 penetrations to the roof or possibly 1, even through the sidewall. 1 penetration will make use of a concentric vent kit, but you're definitely welcome to use 2 separate penetrations if that's easier for your application. We're going to take a quick look at the rating plate for this water heater. This one is set up for propane. They're either going to be propane or natural gas. They are not convertible in the field. So make sure you purchase the proper water heater for your particular application. Make note that the rating plate also has the specifications for the incoming gas pressure as well as the minimum gas pressure. Now, one of the first steps in installing your Rheem Tankless water heater is to mount the main bracket. It is designed to be mounted to a wood support, not into a sheetrock screw and held up by sheetrock. It either needs to be into a wood backing or into 2x4 studs. Once the bracket is secure and leveled, the next step is to take the tankless water heater and hang it on the bracket. Thank you, water heater assistant. Great. Now our water heater is hung up on the wall and secure. We can move on to the next step. Okay, once your water heater is hung in place, you can go ahead and put some screws into the bottom and secure it. This service valve kit is important to install. It will allow you to connect water to your water heater, also attach your hoses for maintenance, as well as give you a port for your pressure relief valve. This pressure relief valve will release water if the pressure gets too high, about 150 psi in your water heater. Once those are tight and secure, we can move on to our next step. Now, in connecting a gas to your water heater, you're going to want to follow local and state codes as well as the recommendations in the use and care manual. Here we have our gas valve installed at our unit and our 3/4 inch gas line. This is also connected to a propane tank for demonstration purposes. We have a 3/4 inch union to connect the pipes together, as well as a port for a manometer so that we can do gas testing. Now, on a residential application, I would normally have my sediment trap right here at the unit, but for demonstration purposes, we have our sediment trap installed in the middle of the pipe connecting these 2 units. Now we're going to move on to the remote. Connecting the remote is done on the bottom of the water heater. You can mount your remote either with the magnets on the case of the water heater or on the wall. Connecting the remote is done with these 2 wires and removing this cap. Run your 2 wires through the rubber grommet and make the connection on each screw. Once they're both connected, go ahead and put the cap back up and reinsert your screw. Tighten back down. Now, in supplying power to your tankless water heater, the indoor unit will come with a 6-foot plug. This should be plugged straight into the wall. Do not use an extension cord or a power strip. If you have an outdoor unit, that will need to be hardwired by a licensed contractor. Venting and air intake for the high efficiency Rheem tankless water heater is done through PVC vent pipe. This particular water heater will have a 2-inch connection on top for both the air intake and the exhaust. There are maximum allowable limits for both of these. Please refer to your use and care manual for those. Now, once your water heater is installed, you have your gas on, you have your water on, you've checked for gas leaks, you've checked for water leaks, you can go ahead and turn your main control panel on. Now, if you're pushing the control panel button and it will not turn on, verify that you don't have a faucet on somewhere, or go ahead and shut the incoming water valve off so that the water heater is not detecting flow. Once you've done that, push your power button and it should come right on. Now, once we have the water heater on, you can see this model is telling us we have a P1 error code. That means we have water running at a faucet, but it's not enough. It does not meet the minimum 0.4 gallons per minute to activate the water heater. So we'll go ahead and shut that off, turn the water heater off and reset it, turn it back on, and we should be good to go. Okay, now we've got our water on. We're testing the water heater, but we've got a code 11. That could be one of a few things. However, being that this is a new installation, what I want to do is check and make sure that I don't have a gas valve turned off somewhere. Okay, so we found out that we had a gas valve off somewhere. If you're a rookie like me, that can happen. Turn your gas on, turn the water heater back on. Let's see what happens now. Well, that's a good sign. That means our water heater's on and we have hot water. Now all we need to do is a final inspection. Check to make sure we have hot water, double check our water connections and gas fittings, make sure we don't have any leaks, and we're good to go. Now, if you find that you need to turn the water heater up or down to adjust the temperature, you can do so here at the panel. And I'm going to show you real quick that I can go down to 100 and I can go up to 112, but I cannot go any higher. The reason is water is running somewhere right now. Could be somebody washing their hands, possibly someone in the shower. To be able to adjust over 112, all the water needs to be shut off. Then you can make your adjustment, then you can turn your water back on and you'll be ready to go. Okay, we've established that this water heater is hooked up and it's working. One other important point that I want to note, if you turn your water heater on before you have your vent in place and then you vent it and then turn it on, you may get a code 90 or a 99. If that happens, you'll need to double check, make sure your venting is proper, and then reset the water heater and you should be okay. But remember, the water heater will recognize that it was running with a low resistance, and then once you vented it, then it recognized some resistance and it throws the code. Nothing to worry about. Go ahead and reset it. As long as your venting is correct, you're going to be okay. That concludes today's video. On our next video, we're going to open up the cabinet, look at the parts inside, and review why they may or may not be related to specific trouble codes that come across. We'll also go over some safety information in there, as well as how to hook up your Wi-Fi capability and your circulating pump. Stay tuned, more to come.